So about 5 years ago or something, I had an idea for a movie. The idea was to have everything take place on a computer screen. And the story would be that a teen disappears, and a single parent has to go digging through the interwebs for clues. Well, that's pretty much this movie. Hey, Hollywood, where's my money? Anyway, I guess my point is, ideas aren't worth very much if you don't do anything with them. And I definitely don't think anyone was listening in on my conversation with my friend either. It's just parallel thinking. No one stole anything. Or did they? So the execution of this movie is pretty unique. It's all on a computer screen. And I know there's been some low budget movies like this before, but nothing major that I know of. And you know how a lot of movies use fake websites instead of Google or YouTube? Well, this one doesn't. I think a couple of them might have been fake, but most are definitely real. And most the apps and software too. And that definitely helps with the immersion. Because if all the apps, the Facebooks, the Instagrams would be fake, the whole thing would immediately fall apart. It just wouldn't be believable. That being said, I still had some issues with not really buying it. A lot of it works. I think especially John Cho really sells his part. But there's a lot of details and small things that just don't work for me. Things that they kinda needed to do for this to work as a movie, but that don't really feel that authentic. Like the detective that's on the case. I don't think a detective would constantly FaceTime the dad of a missing person. Or why was the kid logged out of all of her accounts on her personal computer? Or the lighting and the video and audio quality of all the Skype calls and news clips and whatnot. Or just how the cursor moves on the computer screen. It felt very robotic. Little things like that. Things that I get why they did, but it doesn't really help sell it. And that's my biggest issue with the movie. I just never really bought it. Almost the entire time I was very much aware that I was watching a movie. And then there's the whole mystery detective aspect, which is pretty much the whole movie, except for the very beginning. And the trick to writing mysteries is that you need to make it a challenge for the audience to figure it out. But you still need to give them enough clues so that they can figure it out on their own. That's part of the appeal and the fun of watching a movie like this. You want to be able to figure it out. And if you don't, you still need to feel like you could have, that all the clues were there. And with this one, I did figure some of it out. But there's a couple of layers to it that I don't really see how anyone could reasonably be expected to figure it out. I mean, you could potentially get there. It's not impossible, but it's just such a stretch, and the clues are so flimsy that if you miss one clue in particular, you're not gonna get there. It all basically hinges on noticing one little detail. If you don't notice that, there's no way you're gonna piece it together. And it's a detail you have no reason to even look for at that point of the movie. Or maybe I'm an idiot. But I personally didn't think it was that well balanced of a mystery. I did like some of the twists and turns though. But the end did feel a bit rushed too, with the whole reveal. So those are kinda my big issues with the movie. But I still sorta liked it. And as much as I complained about all the details that kinda ruined the authenticity of it, there's actually a lot of painstaking thought and effort that went into making it feel as real as possible too. Like the introduction to the family in the beginning. It's a bit of a montage sequence that starts when the kid is little and then gradually gets older. Well, they recreated old versions of websites like Facebook and YouTube to really sell it. And the software and the computers they used changed over time too. And I like that they included stuff like the bandwagoning people do on social media, you know, whenever there's a tragedy. So it's not like they didn't care about attention to detail. They very much did. It's just that the more authentic it felt, the more little details that are wrong are gonna stick out. And I feel like it would be almost impossible to get all of it right. But they did try. I'll give them that. And as I said, overall, I still sorta liked it. But I just feel like it could have been better. Or maybe it couldn't have. Maybe you really can't make a movie on a computer screen work better than this. Who knows? So would I recommend it? It's fine, I guess. Not a bad movie, but not that great either. So go watch it. Support creative filmmaking. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Also, Snape kills Dumbledore.